Hello everybody! So this is 8 weeks after my operation and this is October the 9th. So it should be the 8th, but we had a little bit of SOS situation yesterday. So yesterday was actually 8 weeks after my op. And because it's October the 9th, I thought I should wear a reindeer since there's Christmas stuff in the shops. No, this is my only onesie that I own, and yeah, so I'm not dressed yet. But it's early in the morning. So, update as to what's been happening with me, and then I'll tell you about the SOS yesterday. So, everything's going fine. As I say, I've been feeling quite run down and had a few infections and things, and now I think I've got a cold. So just a little bit snottery, and I went to go for my flu jab, but because I had the cold they thought it was best that I didn't have it. But I am going today because I felt really rotten a couple of days ago when I went in for it. I had on, most of you will probably know that surgeries are quite warm. I had on like a top and then a jumper and then a jacket and a fluffy hat, and I thought I had it here but I don't. And fluffy boots, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I was not doing so good then, but feeling a bit better now, just a bit sniffy. So I think just all of these combination of things made me feel a bit, oh, it's never ending. But tummy wise, everything has been good. All regular, and that's been nice, and no pain except when I sneeze. So the bit here, which is probably where they worked, every time I sneeze feels like it goes pop, and it's like for all the split second it does it, it's just like oh. So achoo. But yeah, it's pretty sore. It just feels like it gets yanked. And on very exciting news. So one of my best friend's sisters is getting married, and she's getting married up near us. So we've been invited to the wedding. So very excited about that, and it'll be a day out, and we'll get to see them all and catch up. And apparently where we're staying is lovely and has a lovely meal. So very excited about all of this. So on Saturday past we went shopping, dress shopping, and normally you like to go shopping when you've lost a bit of weight, not gained any. And I know I'm not wearing the most flattering thing today, I do look a bit like a Teletubby. Hoping if I kind of pull it taut you shall see my stomach is kind of like, it's not quite streamlined. Never really was streamlined, but it's a lot like, what I find is that I'm kind of like my onesie, and if you want to fit in a dress you can kind of push up and pull in and you can squeeze into whatever dress you want to, because my wobbliness moves, which is great. But once you've had an operation you don't want to really pull stuff in. So Bridget Jones sucky in pants, not an option. As well as I thought I'm going to be walking around, the wedding's at 1 and the meal's at 4, and then I think it's 3 courses. So I thought, I don't really want something pushing on my tummy, and I don't even like jeans, which is 1 button pushing. So I've been zipping up my jeans and just not buttoning the top bit. Yeah, so I can't really abide stuff holding my tummy in. So that was quite tricky to find a dress. And the first shop we went to, there was another girl who was like a size 8 and absolutely stunning, and she was trying on the same dress as me, and her friends were like, oh, it's beautiful, and I'm standing beside her like, and I was like, yeah. So not such a good experience. So I did find a nice dress that my mum said was a beautiful tent because it just flops. But because we were in Inverness, within half an hour I was in agony. And so it takes an hour to get from our house to the shops, and then, I mean, I don't even think it was half an hour. we went to try on a couple of hats in one shop, shop number 2, so probably 20 minutes it started, I could feel it. And it started here as being sore, the kind of sharp jabby pain, and then I took some paracetamols and gradually it spread all the way around and round my back. And we've got a cousin who's a nurse, and he suggested that what it was because the town was busy and I was so scared of getting bumped. And people do, they're just kind of like, I'm on a mission to get to wherever they're going, and they just ram past you. And so I was like frightened that I was going to get bumped, and so by being like this all day and kind of tensing up this middle part, I was just very sore. So that's the first time I've had tramadol in a while, because I forgot to take any painkillers with me because I am stupid. So we went to Boots and we bought paracetamols, and we were in town for about 6 hours, so by the time I came home, yeah, I was pretty sore. So a couple of tramadols and then to bed. So that's one thing, and I don't know if anybody else has found that after an operation. If you're out and about, if you find yourself tensing up and then getting sore, it would be nice to know if that's happened to you. So everything's going well, and then yesterday we had guinea pig SOS. So this is the guinea pig's kind of tank where they normally live, and when I go to clean this out, I have a little fence that's about this. It's kind of, each panel's about this, and I put it out around the living room, and I put a few of their toys in with them as well, and they run around in there until I clean them out. And they're normally very well behaved. I don't know if I can show you. Oh, you think you're getting fed? You've had food. Yes, you have. I don't know if that carries onto camera, the little noise they're making. Because they had this traumatic experience yesterday, they think they should be fed lots today. So this is the fence, and then as you can see it folds out, and that's just one piece of it. There's lots of pieces in there, and it was much longer, but a few of the connector pieces broke off. So I think what we're going to do is get some cable ties to connect it back together to make one big long bit. Now the two bigger pigs don't really mind, when the fence is up, they don't really bother with it. They just kind of play around in their toys and eat their hay and jump about. The baby pig, which is the naughty pig, walks all the way round, and it sniffs and it bites and it pushes at the fence. So normally when I'm cleaning them out, one of us will clean them out and the other person will sit and watch the pigs. Usually as a bit of entertainment because they do quite fun things. But yesterday I thought, oh, my mum and dad have been helping me a lot. I shall clean out the pigs all by myself, and it'll be a nice surprise when they get home they don't have to help me. So I was keeping an eye on them through the kitchen window, and we've got an extension on our house, so our kitchen window looks into the next room. It's like a bit like a hatch. So I was keeping an eye on them and kind of going back and forth, cleaning a bit and then peeking on them. And one of the times I peeked on them, they were outside of their caged area. So I think it was baby pig that instigated it. I think that it worked out that it could push two bits apart and get past there. And it got out and the other two followed. So they got out, and when I went back through, I thought, oh man, there's cables and there's all these, living room type things. How am I going to get them back in? And just at that point, I seen one of them eat ivy, which is our house plant that's kind of trailing onto the floor. And I panicked because ivy is poisonous. So I was like, get them back in, catch them. And amazingly enough, all three of them went back into the caged area when I was trying to catch them, and I managed to get them and put them back in. So last night we had a nice stressful trip to the vet. More stressful for them than for me. And I can't remember the name. Charcoal, I think, was the first thing that they got, and it was like black gooey stuff injected like in a wee syringe thing into their mouth. And then once we got them home, I had to administer liquid paraffin, which sounds like they're going to put them on fire, but it's minerals for them. And normally they have nice colourful fleecy stuff, but at the moment they're on newspaper because they could have diarrhoea for a week. But the good news is that apparently if they've eaten something poisonous, they should not be with us in 8 to 12 hours, and it has been past that and they are all here and happy and squeaking, so so I was crazy concerned about them. My mum was crazy concerned about me because I was so stressed out, and other than being utterly exhausted, I haven't had any bad symptoms, and they are good, which is really good. Because I find as a Crohn sufferer the worst thing is stress. It seems to activate everything. So hopefully it shall all be fine, and the pigs look happy and I'm happy. I'm a very happy reindeer. So all is good, and that is 8 weeks and everything going well update. Hello everybody! So it's my birthday today, yay! And having a great day so far. I'm all glammed up because my boyfriend is taking me out for dinner and he's taking me to the Enchanted Forest. Ooh. So it's a forest that's got lights and music, and I think it's got like circus people in the trees doing stuff, so I can't wait. And for any of the rest of you who watched the BBC Tumble with all the acrobats and things, I can't wait. So yes, I've also got a halo. It's my bedroom light. Woo! Anyway, feeling very positive today, but I have had some bad news. One of my band mates, Dave, who I have mentioned in a previous video, he was the one that recommended the Get Your Belly Out campaign, and he is very fit and active, and he does like parkour and different things, and he'd taken up mountain biking a couple of years ago, and he had an accident the other day, and hurt his spleen. I think it ruptured and he's had an operation, so that has been a huge big shock, and I'm hoping to get in to visit him one day, but I suppose every cloud, big massive black cloud but tiny little silver lining, it made me, kind of gave me a bit of a boot because the past week or probably longer than that I've been like, oh, I've got a cold and I've got this infection and it's not clearing, and oh my god, and it just made me realise, oh my god, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm just whinging, and feeling a little bit sorry for myself. So positive aspect for me has made me realise, oh my gosh, but not very good for poor Dave, and hopefully I'll get in to visit him, and I'm thinking of him, and I know there'll be a lot of people who are thinking of him as well. And I don't know much about a ruptured spleen, but I think he was by himself when he was doing the cycling, and he had to then get himself to A&E with this bleeding, I think external, internal, I'm not really too sure, and I think it can be fatal, so he was very, very, very lucky. So my thoughts and prayers are definitely going out for him, because he was such a huge support to me while I was ill. And I think sometimes if you've got an illness, you can get so kind of around yourself, be like, oh well, I've got this, you know, that you kind of forget that everybody else has their things as well. So the only amazing thing is that Dave has this fantastic positive attitude, so hopefully that will help him in improving. So I will be thinking about him especially tonight, and hopefully I will get in to see him, and I'll let you know how I'm doing and how he's doing. Bye-bye. Oh, and for any of you who saw the previous video about the guinea pigs, they're all okay. So that was just an afterthought. They had escaped I put them in a little fence area while I'm cleaning them out, and they'd escaped out of that, sneaky little devils, and they'd eaten ivy. But we took them to the vet, and they had they got administered charcoal, and then I had to administer liquid paraffin, which is impossible. Very tricky to do. Any of you managed to do it perfectly, well done. But they are all good and all well. So yes, another end on a positive note. The guinea pigs are all well. Okay, bye.